I am Charlie Kirk.
Guys, she
I will
finally
not be
responded
silent.
to our
That
video,
symbol
so
is
let's check
taken.
this
It
out and
stands
see
for
what she has
missing
to
and
say this
murdered
time.
Indigenous
So this is
people.
actually a
So you're
part
gonna
two.
have to go colonize another one.
So a lot of you seem to think
But I
I'm
just
making a
chucked in what she
video,
said
and,
first,
just
if
in
you
case weren't
haven't
sure
caught
if I
up.
was doubling down or not, I'm going to quadruple down on this. On today's episode of Making Liberals Uncomfortable, someone's gonna have to come get their friends.
Hey, look at her. Everybody should be like her. Get your hands wet. Everybody should be like her.
Oh, is that the left being racist, bigoted, and sensitive colonizers? Wait, this was an anti-ICE protest? But what do you mean it had nothing to do with missing Indigenous women and children?
Actually, that's exactly where you're wrong. This wasn't just some anti-ICE protest, it was an Orange Shirt Day vigil led by Indigenous people themselves. They were remembering children lost to residential and boarding schools, as well as showing solidarity with migrants and Palestinians facing the same systems of displacement and violence.
I was told by TikTok that you can only use red handprints on your face for Indigenous persons protest.
I am Charlie Kirk. I will not be
You can debate me and my co-host, who is my best friend, and she's a card-carrying tribal member from the Dawes Rolls. You guys can come debate us on this anytime that you want if you're upset eat spaghetti.
You can't use it because you're not native. Just because your friend is native doesn't mean you are. And you also tried to pretend you were Charlie Kirk coming back from the dead, days after his death. Isn't that demonic? Like, aren't you supposedly Christian? Like, Jesus cast out unclean spirits, right? And just to make it clear, the red handprint is sacred. It represents the missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls movement. When non-Indigenous influencers wear it for attention, this is an example of a Peakton High School pick-me-girl textbook, like, looking for attention. This is what appropriation is. You're not only using Charlie Kirk's death for clout, but a sacred Indigenous symbol too. That's the difference. These people were using it for its intended purpose.
So I am looking forward to the left making their awkward videos about how this is racist, bigoted colonizer behavior, right? These people are going to go out on an apology tour and apologize for their colonizer behavior, huh?
Okay, in your last video, you claimed if it wasn't for colonizers, the world wouldn't have electricity, clothes, and housing. So now you're claiming Indigenous people are colonizers.
These people are going to go out on an apology tour and apologize for their colonizer behavior, huh?
For using their own sacred symbols at a missing persons vigil? Huh? If you can't tell the difference between clout chasing for views and a vigil, you know, like literally what the symbol was for, remembering the missing persons and so on, maybe you shouldn't talk about cultures you don't belong to.